Hello everybody, Cedric and Cedra here, CR Wrestling Commentary, and we'll be going over Ring of Honor's Final Battle 2021, End of an Era. And this begins with the opening match of Dragon Lee versus Rey Horus.
I'm going to let y'all know now, Cedric's going to be sufficiently creeped out because I'm facing him while we're doing this.
Yeah, I was trying to ignore that.
I can read your face.
So this event started off with a great monologue, gives chills all over your body.
I really hope they do bring Ring of Honor in some kind of respectful form back.
I mean, they already booked venues for next year.
Oh, they did?
I have said this.
When did you say that?
Multiple times. I've said this multiple times. It ain't my fault you don't listen to me.
I do listen to you. You said Ring of Honor's big venues for next year.
Yeah, wouldn't that mean I've said it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't recall you saying that.
I've said that in past shows. Like I said, it ain't my fault you don't listen to me. The fans listen to me. You don't listen to me.
I do listen to you.
And I only got this because of what, honestly, what Jim Cornette said. They already had big booked venues next year, March or April.
Okay,
is
they
one
said
of
they'll
those.
come back in February. Okay, cool.
You know, it could be February.
I just hope it don't suck, is what I'm saying. That's why I say under a respectful manner when it comes back, not, AEW-rific.
Yeah, they don't need to do that. They really don't need to do that. I don't know, maybe we'll do a separate piece on deepest thoughts about this whole Ring of Honor thing.
That would be cool. I am on board.
Dragon Lee versus Rey Horus was, I mean, how can I say this? It's a good opening exhibition. I wouldn't call it a serious match. I wouldn't call it a serious match because there was some choreographed. Well, no, it's not choreographed.
Not choreographed.
You could tell it wasn't choreographed. You could they know each other in and out.
Yeah.
They probably don't even have to talk in the ring
with each other.
Yeah, they're just so familiar.
And with Lucha, so
it's just that they were waiting. The first dive made sense. Deer in headlights, only a half a second wait, fine. But then the rest, I'm waiting for you to do this move. Dragon Lee had to remind Rey Horus where they were in the match and say, go to the rope so we can do this. He had to remind him. That wasn't cool. However, Dragon Lee worked a body part. He worked the leg.
He worked the back.
Yeah, the back more so than the leg. Those two tilt-a-whirl back breakers. And the knees to the back, the elbows. Crab. Yeah, Boston crab, half crab.
And suplexes. He was really working Rey Horus' back because you can't flip if you ain't got no back.
And it's a game plan. It's a really good game plan. They both got their shit in, but they did it in an actual way that
makes sense.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it flowed.
Okay, I did A, now it's time for B, now it's time for C. The boxes are checked off. They didn't do it like that. I had to suspend just a little bit of. It's like they're both from Mexico. They grew up in lucha, so a percentage of what it's going to be about. So I put that aside.
Yeah, and just watch the match. We watched the match like we did, like we would when we watched Lucha Libre, back in the, what was it, the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We just sat and enjoyed a match. That's how it was.
And it was a really good match. It was probably one of the best ones I've seen this style in Ring of Honor in a while.
Yeah, it's not easy getting good lucha in USA.
I don't know, maybe Rey Horus and Dragon Lee work really well, and then of course everyone's attempt to do it and they do it poorly. So I enjoyed this match, but I like Dragon Lee. He's got a viciousness that a lot of lucha wrestlers don't have when they get here. It's just, all right, I'm gonna flip and do my thing, and everybody's gonna love it. It's like, no, you need to be on the attack. There's no passion
in what they do. The match started off, I gotta be honest, bittersweet. Shaking the ring, handshaking the ring, Code of Honor adhered to. They said, screw it, gave a hug. I'm like, oh, y'all gonna catch me in the fields. Y'all gonna end up making me cry. It's already, I don't people, I hate goodbyes. I hate them so much. So, final battle, and the way that everyone's been talking about it has been bugging me for a while. And so I haven't said anything about it, but it's been taking a toll on me because I love wrestling, and places that give you really good to great wrestling, and I mean professional wrestling, they're not really here. Not really. Even New Japan Pro Wrestling has slipped when it comes to giving pro wrestling. So watching these two is almost watching as if Sting and Flair on the last Nitro. It was almost like that. But in general, for wrestling, to further this match, yeah, they dove in and out the ring. Mm-hmm. They made it look nice and smooth. Yeah, you could tell there was some waiting cooperation, yes, but it still ran smooth. And
Dragon Lee laid a knee, the incinerator knee on Rey Horus. Oh my goodness.
The thing is, they was kicking out of each other's best moves, and at first I was annoyed. Horus got that avalanche. I forgot what the name they gave it, I guess. Yeah. But it's almost like a victory star drop, and he got that. And when Dragon Lee kicked out, I was frustrated, and I was like, then it clicked. I was like, this is the big event. This is the major event.
You pull out all the stops.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to survive to get a chance to win. No problem.
And at least he didn't pop right up afterwards either.
No, that's good. The commentary, the crowd, and the wrestler all failed at one juncture.
What?
When Rey Horus climbed that top rope to dive on Dragon Lee, and he slipped. Mm-hmm. The crowd, they wooed like, "Oh, you messed up." Horus looked and pointed to the crowd like, "I got you. Don't worry. I'm here. I'm back." Mm-hmm. And the commentary called it a mistake. All three fucked up. What should have happened is when Horus slipped, he should have stayed down a little bit, held his back or his leg. Commentary should have called out the work done on his back, and the crowd can see, oh, it took a toll. That is something that is heavily missing in pro wrestling.
Yeah, and I think that comes from lack of training.
Lack of training, man, ain't no goddamn psychology in
and that comes with it.
If they even know to teach it,
you have to teach the psychology in order to completely pull your audience in.
If I was a pro wrestler, I would be perfect on selling damage, perfect, and then mounting that comeback and saying, "I am hurt, but I'm trying." You don't get that.
Yeah,
you just don't.
No one listens to the old ones.
They don't care to. And so Horus does the frog splash, and the knees were up for like, 2-3 seconds it seemed like. I'm like, ain't there a part of you that could just land almost like a cat possibly and flip over them knees?
But it was cool because Horus went through the air and he didn't do a regular frog splash. He like swivel in the air, his body turned in the air like he was trying to do something else or trying to avoid whatever counter Dragon Lee might have put forth.
He hit them knees, and at that point Dragon Lee says, "It's time for me to show up." He got the knee, little work, got that, he got the Falcon Arrow, got the knee pad down, and came off the ropes and blasted him on the side of the head with that running knee strike that they call the incinerator, and Horus kick out.
But when he got up, he looked like nobody was home.
Yep.
He stumbled and his head bobbled on his shoulders, and he got the ripcord. He looked like nobody was home.
Yep, and that is selling. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the ripcord bicycle knee strike, bam, dropped him to his knees. And then Lee comes off the ropes and Enzui incinerator. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And the match is over. And commentary, I don't know what they said, but she's just been holding it in.
I already said it because I was about to bust about the fact that Ray was like he was out on his feet. I was looking, I was like, oh shit, ain't nobody home.
It was something said. It was some words. You was like, and you just, I was like, see, I don't remember. I don't have to hit.
I remember being excited about him selling.
Yeah, that line. Yeah. See, Caprice Coleman was like, he'll just do the incinerator. He'll keep doing it. He'll do it until he's finished.
Yep. And I was like, yeah. He should have said, do it till you're satisfied.
Whatever it is, do it till you're satisfied. Come on, y'all, and do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied, whatever it is.
That's old school, y'all. That's older than us, old school.
It is. That is awesome. Rock Creek Park, y'all.
Oh, shit.
So, hey, it was a good match. Go ahead and hit play so we can see the end and whatnot. Not on your screens because we don't want to get sued. You know, I don't have $42,000. I just don't. So
I ain't got $2,000. I ain't got $2,000.
Yep. He hit him with that first incinerator, and Caprice Coleman had said, like, did you see the blood fly out of his mouth? I was like, ain't nobody seen any blood fly out of that fool's mouth.
Spit.
And
he threw the stream up and hit himself in the head.
Yeah. Playing in the ring. You know, it's the opening match usually sets the pace for the show.
I think they did a good job. You know, Dragon Lee is a cutie patootie. He has got the greatest smile.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do. You know, and he's here. You know, hey, I won, so let me shake your hand. I truly think the loser should be the one that extends the hand, because it's easy to be in good spirits and be like, hey man, let's shake hands because I won, you know?
I see that, but oftentimes it's like, I won because you ain't shit, fuck you, leave the ring. So
that's a heel.
It's like to show that you ain't shitness. Yeah, not there.
But hey, they shook hands, you know, hugged. A beautiful moment for them, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy about it, and honestly, yeah, I could watch that match again. Not gonna lie. All right. So, hey, we're gonna get on to these matches. It's a 3-hour event. This might be the longest one we do. We still want to keep it short for y'all. So it's final battle, and you know, I want to do more. I want to say so much more about the matches, but I need to stick with only the most important parts of the matches, my thoughts on those things, and move on, because I could run down a match almost blow by blow if I wanted to, and that just seems so unnecessary. So I hope y'all understand. If y'all have any suggestions for the show and things y'all want to hear us talk about and questions you have, it's all good. This one here's it's gonna just be YouTube. I'm not putting this on Spreaker. Well, no, I'll put it on Spreaker, but I'm not gonna copy it to YouTube. You know, y'all can bask in the backgrounds that I'm gonna have, because each match will have like one of 3 or 4 backgrounds. So we'll just, you know, y'all want to see the screen? Cool, make a nice screensaver, I suppose. But let's roll. All right, everybody. We come to the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. So this will be a 4 corners match. Actually, it's just a 4-way. And first one win, and that's it. It's not elimination. So you got the champion, Dalton Castle, versus Rhett Titus, versus Silas Young, versus Joe Hendry.
We ain't seen him in well over a year.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I'm a Joe Hendry fan.
You all believe in Joe Hendry. If you don't know who he is, that's all right. You believe in him.
Yep.
All right, you got my permission. So, Joe Hendry. How could I best describe this guy at first? When he, more like he was like a not so cut, actually not cut in comparison, but he was about the size of Red Titus.
No, he was not that small.
He was small.
He was not that small.
He was your average wrestler size.
He was lean. He was leanish like Dak Draper, just not as tall.
There you go. See, I was thinking about height as well. I was like, I can't use him, too tall. Can't use him, too tall. And so I was like, you know what? And I'm looking at the screen and Rex's face is on it. So I went with him.
And he wasn't cut, but he had a big, strong, solid build. Now, well, he was dark hair before with a reddish build. Now he's got blonde hair. Like almost white blonde hair. And he looks, doesn't look ripped. He just looks big. You can tell he was working out. He looks beefy.
Yeah, Cedra assumes that he must have gained a lot of weight and then started working out to work it off. I'm saying he might have been injured. We don't know.
No matter the way in which the weight was gained, it was he's got a little mushiness around the lower abdomen.
Yeah,
like he's working on it.
Below navel, above pelvis.
And but he's strong as a damn ox.
I mean, he look it. He like he been flipping tires.
Yeah,
he's Gachimuchi. Dalton's intro, elaborate, long, and not him. It's like without that music, it just falls flat. Mm-hmm. And if you're not going to use that music, if you're not going to use Queen's music or Ring of Honor's version of it, find something that's hype. This, I don't know, man. This bourgeois club beat music thing, douche, 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 douche. It's like it's saying douche, 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 douche.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's not Dalton. None of this is Dalton. It's just, I can't buy it.
He's not a good heel. He's not a good neutral heel. He's got to be a face or nothing. It's terrible.
Yeah, and I'm trying to make sure I don't do it because, I first saw him as a babyface and he had that music and it was awesome, so it has to be that way all the time. No, I have to make sure to cut that out.
Some people you can see as a face or a heel when they're the opposite. Like we could see Show as a heel, we could see EY as a heel. Dog Castle shouldn't be a heel.
Silas Young, I can see as a babyface.
On a stretch for me.
No, it's not even close to a stretch. I can easily see Silas Young as a babyface. Silas Young goes on The Last Real Man. He's gruff. He's got that, how can I say, younger Don Fry look, and he's got that voice. He can wrestle his ass off. He's very professional in that ring. He knows what he's doing. I think his body reacts more than his brain is thinking. His muscle memory is all he needs. But I can see him as a baby face. If he decided to talk, hey, like if he lost a match, you see he's frustrated. And he's like, you know what? This ain't making it. He shakes the guy's hand. He gets on the microphone and he says something in the area of, I came in here and I've been the last real man because of how, the smaller guys have come in, and that's not a man. I'm a real man. But after this battle, it's not about your size, it's your heart. And I can consider you a real man. And then the people will be like, yay! And then Silas comes in and helps somebody. I can see him doing that. And if he built himself as a babyface and telling people, the crowd that they're real men and all this, and I'm sure you ladies are happy to see a real man, but trust me, there's equal right next to you. Yeah. Even you had to, yeah. So he would be over like crazy something thereof doing something like that. I'm not saying like that, but something thereof.
The closest he got to a being that face was working with Josh Wood.
Yeah. But I think Silas just enjoys being a heel. So look, this match, getting right into it because it's been over 5 minutes. So I'm going to speed through the part that was the most important or stuck out for me and or us. There was a, you know what, just, I didn't write this one down, but there was something, well, Dalton and them ended up on the floor, and Dalton, that petty Betty that Cedra loves.
No, it wasn't on the floor.
He was on the mat. I think floor in the ring. Okay. So my bad. Yeah, there was all on the ring. There was all on the mat in the ring, and Dalton just kicked the shit out of him.
Silas.
Yeah, it was Silas. Kicked the hell out of him while they was laying down. It almost looked like it was some kind of actual frustration.
And Silas had just put 2 moves on him. 2 pretty good ones. So Dalton just smacked him in the back with his hand and he kicked at him. Yeah, I loved it.
Petty Betty. Dalton forms a shaky alliance with Joe Hendry.
Because you'd be tag team partners with back then.
Yeah, but we all believe in Joe.
Yeah.
Check this out. They get Titus down. And Hendry goes, Dalton goes for the pin. Hendry gets upset. I'm like, dude, he's trying to win the match. You can't get up, so I was like, okay, I see the story build and die immediately instead of some over the duration thing.
Yeah.
So later, what would happen is Hendry goes for the pin. Dalton pushes him off, and Dalton's like, "I'm the champion. God damn it!" Dalton can be a petty heel, and that would be his shtick. But he doesn't do petty. That's his problem.
And he's got the perfect voice for it.
Yes. If he was a petty heel, but not that wimpy run away from everything heel, Dalton would be all right. Okay. So Silas prepares for a rolling senton off the apron on Rhett. And Rhett nudges. This was so nice. Because Silas was on the apron, Rhett's on the outside, he's dazed.
And Joe Hendry's sitting out there for whatever reason.
At the corner. So when he prepares for that rolling senton, Rhett nudges Hendry out of the way and takes the move. And I wrote, such a gentleman.
Yeah, it was very professional because Hendry was not in a position to have anybody land on him.
And I don't think he knew where anyone was going to be. He was looking at the fans.
He was looking at something on him. He looked like he was quickly convalescing or something. I don't know.
So, after a good while, the match does heat up. The belt comes into play. Hendry strikes Dalton with the belt and just laid him out. I mean, when he hit Dalton with that title belt,
he looked like he really smashed him in the damn face.
It looked brutal. That's wrestling. But that's also camera work, too.
Yeah, the ref had already been knocked out, dove out the ring on his own. That was weird.
Yeah, that was just strange. That was strange. And that's when Draper runs in and kicks the hell out of Hendry. And the ref just fall out with Hendry. I'm like, why did the ref fall out?
Well, the ref was already gone before
He was already gone?
He fell out with, who's the other one in the ring?
Dalton? No, there's Silas and there's Rhett.
Silas, Rhett.
It's Silas, Rhett, Dalton, and Hendry.
Okay.
That's what fell out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he fell out with Silas, and then Hendry hits Dalton, and then Draper gets Hendry, and then
Silas gets back in the ring.
Gets rid of somebody gets rid of Draper.
That was Titus.
Okay, and then Silas
with the hydraulic drop kick.
Okay.
And then Young pops Titus and goes for the corner elbow drop. That twisting, rebounding corner elbow drop. He missed, and he's learning to land on his feet a bit better. I don't think he really should. I think he should practice. I know it sucks, but I think he should probably practice landing on his hands and knees. I know, because all the the knee injuries and damage and stuff,
or elbows and joints. I can see why he doesn't.
But he lands, he gets up, and he gets caught with the hydraulic drop kick.
Hydraulic.
And
I love the name.
Rhett Titus covers him and wins the TV championship.
His first singles belt. 16 years he's been with ROH. It was his first singles belt.
16 years. Now, granted, he's been a gimmick, but he's been trying to find what will you like that I can do that will get you to notice me.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do in this company that keeps bringing in these people to win the belts that I would like to go for?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I think Ring of Honor, no, it would behoove Ring of Honor, if they're going to thoroughly remain in business, to acknowledge their past bullshit and stop it.
Oh, they ain't gonna do that. They might stop it.
They're Republicans.
They ain't gonna acknowledge it.
They're Republicans. They ain't gonna stop it.
They might stop it, but they ain't gonna. They damn sure ain't gonna acknowledge it.
The crowd is happy. Commentary is happy. We are happy. I was almost in tears. Rhett wins his first singles championship in almost 2 decades, and the crowd is chanting, "You deserve it."
Because he does.
And when this match was getting started, I was like, Rhett should win this belt.
That's what I was thinking too. Rhett should win it. I think I said it.
Yeah, you did. I said it. You said it. And, because I was like, Joe Hendry, like, he just kind of got back,
Rhett first got my attention. I just remembered exactly when he first got my attention. He was teamed up with... Remember the last time Caprice Russell and they were in a militant faction?
Yeah.
Rhett was with them.
Yeah.
That was when I first noticed Rhett, just because of the dynamics of the group. It's like, what are you doing in that group? And then I watched him, and he was a stellar performer. Like, never heard of this dude. We had never heard of him before that, or seen him.
And then he went away.
And then he came back with the dogs.
Just look at me. That's about how he came back. Obscene as fuck.
No, the dogs were before that. He was teamed up with...
I know. I'm just talking about when I took notice of Rhett.
Oh, okay.
The dogs. I thought that was a dumb name, and I didn't really pay attention to that team and what they were doing in the ring. I did not. When I saw them with the Briscoes was kicking their fucking head in, I was all right, but I still didn't remember who they were.
And then, then he came back with his obscene bodybuilder thing.
And that's when I noticed him, because it was outlandishly funny.
But he was skilled as fuck, and he was winning. He was also funny. Especially he come over there all oiled up talking to Caprice and Riccaboni. Making him uncomfortable.
And Caprice said, I'm kind of uncomfortable over here. You might need to take a few steps back. And I'm sitting there like, you need to put some clothes on.
Have on the skippiest little Speedo looking things you could, oiled up and posing.
That was funny. That was always funny. That's why I noticed him. Because that was him. I was like, that's pesky. He's coming out. It's for really no reason. And he's just showing off this body. Mm-hmm. But he's doing it like, I'm trying to get at them. You can see it like, I'm trying to make you as uncomfortable as I can.
And his body was interesting because he was little. He's still little. He's a lean ass little dude, ripped as fuck. How you get so ripped and you so little?
So that's why you can't. And oiled up too.
And oiled up too. And glistening, dipped in butter.
Yeah. Shining and shit. Oh man. So yeah, that's why we noticed Rhett. Those are all the reasons why we noticed Rhett Titus, and seeing his skill in the ring made all of the gimmick stuff he tried seem meaningless, because his in-ring performance was stellar. Mm-hmm. And them not giving him a title was just stupid.
And I'm glad that he won with his drop kick.
Thank you for saying that, because not long ago, I was demonizing the fact that his drop kick has become meaningless, and he won with that epic
hydraulic drop kick.
Beautiful. So we're gonna, like I said, I hate goodbyes, which is why I usually kind of drone on and stuff. But no, we're gonna keep it moving. All right, so let's get to the next match. All right, everyone. Sorry, I forgot all about the background. I'm supposed to be changing it and whatnot. I was supposed to be changing it, but I haven't. I've been just watching wrestling and doing my thing. And y'all probably not. And you know what? If y'all in the car or something, you don't even need to be looking at background screens or anything like that.
You need to drive.
Look at the damn road. that's what you look at.
Please look at the road.
Look at the road, damn it.
For the sake of us who aren't there, who could be there, and everybody else around you, look at the road.
Yep. Okay, I changed it now.
But you can't see it because you're looking at the road.
Yep. And for those that's looking at your screen, it's another scene. So this is for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. The Mecca Brian Johnson versus the technical beast Josh the Goods Woods. And look, Josh is champion. Look, after what we saw this year of the Pure Championship and the defenses of it, from Jonathan the Octopus Gresham, we saw a beast. We saw a monster. We saw someone that was technically damn near invincible. Put on some of the greatest displays of professional wrestling in this type of environment in the squared circle that is rarely seen anywhere else.
And never win the same way twice.
Ever. And don't win in ways that you see anywhere else. Which is where Melee G Lee for CR Fire Pro got that patella driver rush. Got it from Jonathan Gresham. But after everything, and I think 2 wins over Josh Woods, one without and one with the championship, it came down to a wire, and Josh Woods was the one to call when Gresham set his eyes for bigger belts. Josh says, I'll take that mantle. So he beat Gresham in one of the most brutal matches in the Pure division I have ever seen. And Cedric was there too. So, and ever since then, Josh Woods has upheld that mantle
and been invited into the fold. If you haven't noticed, for the past 3 weeks, when the foundation comes out, Josh Woods is there.
And his opponent is the Mecca, Brian Johnson, who got into the Pure division almost as a joke. But no, Brian Johnson knows professional wrestling better than you know the air you're breathing into your lungs right now.
I don't really know. I just met it.
Brian Johnson. Stop it, damn it. I'm trying to do something here.
I'm sorry.
Just met the air right. Okay, so Brian Johnson, who gets into the Pure division, he's a pro wrestler at heart. He is not about that pure style. Oh no, he gets in that ring and he is an accident waiting for a place to happen. And during any Pure Rules match, he will take that cheap shot any and every given moment. Brian Johnson is Mecca versus everyone, and he proves it every single match, whether it's a heel or a face or anything in between. Brian Johnson is Brian Johnson against that person, against that ref, even against the ring.
And the ring announcer.
Especially him.
I can't stand the ring announcer.
So Brian Johnson has not lost a pure match because he exploits the rules. He takes advantage of everything like a good heel would. And that leads us to this match. Because this places them both at a great disadvantage. You got Brian Johnson, the pro wrestler who knows how to exploit everything against the technical beast, who is an honorable person in that ring for that pure title, who also knows how to force so many rope breaks that nothing can save you.
Oh, he's a ring general.
He got his game down right. So, with that, I wrote some notes. And I'm going to blast through them because it was quite a bit. And she was probably going to have to help me with some of this. Just correct me or whatnot when it is. I wrote down the most important parts of this match. So, at the start, Brian gets a rope break from a single leg takedown and ankle control. Not an ankle lock. Woods had the ankle.
And they could have been devastating, so I don't blame him for scrambling to the rope.
Yep. Woods gets an ankle lock and then an ankle lock body lift and then transitions that into a sleeper choke. Brian grabs the ropes. They was in a standing position. All right. Now there's no graphics on the screen. So,
Ty Sinclair's keeping up with it.
And doing good.
Very vocally.
Because, Sinclair doesn't have graphics in front of his eyes, so he just got to go on memory.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Brian hit a nice diving clothesline. And then he hit standing frog splash. That kind of hurt his ribs a little bit. Then Brian gets up. Now hold up. Before this, when the match gets started, Brian gets up in Josh's face, and I like y'all two might as well just be kissing.
Yeah, that's how close they were.
And he was like, "I've waited my whole life for this moment. I am not backing down. I'm not backing off. Not 1 inch. You're gonna have to kill me. You hear me? You're gonna have to kill me, Wood. You hear me?" And he is talking that trash as loud as he can. And he is like, I'm like, man, y'all are mouth to mouth, face to face, and he is brushing his beard against Woods. It's crazy. Brian Johnson pulls you in to anything that he's doing. This man knows how to intensely play checkers. So, with that, let's get on back into this. So Brian, later, he asked the crowd, "How do you spell pure?" And they spell the ones that are in on that like Brian Johnson. They spell out MECCA, and you could tell. And she was like, Brian probably cheesing on the inside.
You know he had to be cheesing. Man, they knew what to say.
So now this proves something. If Brian Johnson wanted to be a face, he'd be over like God. Okay, he would. He knows what to do. After they spill to the outside, where Brian gains he applies an apron hung neck breaker. Brian, he hurts his back because he hit the floor. And Woods, when they get back into the ring, Woods hit a stiff spear as a counter when Brian was charging him. It was a short, stiff spear. So yeah. Then Brian and Woods tangle up for a suplex, and Woods suplexes Brian over the top rope. And they both go over the top rope, tumbling. I gotta say it, very safely, but yet to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It was very safe. It was because I got scared for a second. On the floor, they had some kind of conversation. I don't know what they were saying, but then they started trading elbows, and it was feverish. Rev got up to a 14. I think 14 or 15. They rolled into the ring, and then a hockey fight ensues, and then they started exchanging strikes. Johnson breaks that up with a knee lift or a kitchen sink. I'll just say an inside knee lift, to the abdomen just to stop the strikes. And then Brian Johnson gets a head and arm choke. Man, and he had it deep. He had Brian Johnson under absolute full control.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson wasn't getting away at all. Mm-hmm. And he carried Brian over to the ropes and made him grab the ropes for his final rope break.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna have words about that later. Now, Brian he takes a time for a rope break to get a brutal eye poke behind the ref's back. And then he hits what the move he calls the process. I didn't necessarily look at the move to study to see what it would be akin to or like, but he hit it. Seems like a DDT-ish like move, I suppose. But Woods kick out. Bryan gets the belt and gives the finger to the ring announcer, and then he removes the corner pad. The referee takes the belt from him. He's like, "Don't you do it? You better not do it." Mm-hmm. And at that moment, Woods uses the chaos theory, which he did very well for a 2 count. Woods is still kind of recovering. Bryan gets the knucks and punches Woods before and covers him for a 2 count.
And he melts.
Yeah, when he hit Woods with the quote unquote knucks, which is probably just rolled up tape, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woods melted. You would think that dude is done. And you know what? Woods knows wrestling too. Because he didn't just pop up to his feet. I'm cool. I'm great. Mm-mm. It ain't like he took a brain bust and just got up like, "Yo, what's up?" He didn't do that.
He stayed there and had to get pushed over for the next, pin attempt.
Yep. So then Bryan eventually gets him to the top rope and he preps for a superplex. Woods grapples him into a head and arm choke and just holds on tight. Woods holds him off the mat, seated on the top rope. Bryan gives out and the referee stops the match, and still pure champion is Josh Woods. And I think that's bullshit.
Why?
How can I say this? Okay, personally speaking, I'm torn. I want Josh Woods to keep the belt and be the best pure champion in Ring of Honor next to Jonathan Gresham, if not one day equaling him. Mm-hmm. But I love Bryan Johnson.
I get that, but the pure title is not for Bryan Johnson to have.
Well, yeah, you say that because he doesn't have it.
No, I thought that before he started going for it. But you know what I'm going to say? Don't do it, Bryan Johnson.
This man has worked his whole life to be where he is, to do what he do. He deserves that belt way more than Josh Woods, who's only been there for a flash in the pan.
Yeah, all right? But Josh Woods has trained
everybody.
But Josh Woods has trained to do shit like this. Whereas you said, and I agree, Bryan Johnson is an all-around and very accomplished and knowledgeable professional wrestler. He needs to have the world title. The pure title is not his domain.
Oh, no, it's not. But here's the thing. Bryan Johnson is out of rope breaks. Mm-hmm. He can't grab the ropes and get saved.
He cannot.
Okay, so we established this, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So why is it that Josh Woods can sit on the top rope illegally? It's illegal.
No, it is not.
It's illegal. Here's the thing. It's not about Bryan Johnson grabbing the ropes. It's about using the ropes.
Using the ropes has never been illegal in a pure match.
Since the fuck when?
I've seen a couple of people have gotten wins with folks tied up in the ropes.
That's because they had no rope breaks.
But they were still in the ropes using it. I think Tracy Hot Sauce bent somebody back over the fucking rope and they were tapping out.
That's because the person got to the ropes, rope break don't count, and then he can utilize the ropes at that point.
But we have never seen it be like, okay, in a pure match, they're in the ropes. 1, 2, they've never counted them while they're in the ropes, Cedric.
When Bryan Johnson got on that top rope to dive, the referee counted him.
We have to go back and play that.
You don't have to. Watch every single match. When they get on that top rope to do anything, the ref starts counting.
I can't recall them doing that. It seems like the only time that they're in there...
Selective memory.
You understand? The only time they're in there is to keep shit in play. Don't get weapons. And to let them know there's no rope counts. And to check and make sure it's an open or closed fist.
I do believe you do not be watching wrestling at all.
I think you just saying shit because you're mad at Bryan Johnson.
You're lowbrow, I tell you. Lowbrow, I tell you. You should really brush up on your pro wrestling and the pro wrestling rules.
I'm going to brush up on you.
What? Any case, I call shenanigans. We'll see. This is up for debate. What do you all think? Should that ruling stand? Since it's not about Bryan Johnson grabbing the ropes. It's about the legal wrestler using the elevation of the ropes, when at any given point the referee would count that person that is standing on those ropes, middle or top rope. If the wrestler, even at the bottom, if they're standing on the ropes, the referee is counting them, and if they're up there for a 5 count, that's a DQ. So why in the world would they not count it now?
I don't think they've been counting the other matches.
We'll see. Let's watch these other matches and whatnot. If any of you have any idea, any strong memory of this, of any, let's just say Pure Rules, okay, Pure Rules matches, when they get on that top rope, I'm pretty sure the referee counts. I'm pretty sure. But, you know, if they don't, okay, fine, it is what it is. But, if you're going to keep a title, keep it clean. Keep it clean. This right here is a little dirty.
It ain't dirty.
It's a little dirty, I said.
It ain't dirty. You can say it, but you said that don't make it true.
Does for me.
Nah, I don't.
God damn it, it's me.
Yeah, nope.
We're going to the next match. All right. Our next match here is a fight without honor between long-time rivals Kenny King and Shane Taylor. Look, the way this match was set up, I don't thoroughly think it gave justice to the rivalry, because how can I say this? You can do so much more with so much less. But hey, they had ladders, tables, chairs. Oh my.
Oh my.
So, let's just jump, because it was a lot of notes. As I said, I want to just do the best I can, and write down jot down the more important things that happened. But there was a lot of things that I enjoyed, so it was kind of getting between what's most important and what I'm enjoying. So if it tickled me fancy a little bit, then I wrote it down. So, let's start off, all right? They started off with a match, nice intro. Kenny King he looked different. Damn it, Kenny King. Damn it. The things that I like and don't like, and this match had pieces that I didn't like, and I'll explain a little bit later on why I didn't like these things. Some of the things you're already going to know. So let's get into this. So in the early part, Shane slings King into the barricade outside, and the fan asks, "Did you hurt your head?"
Yeah. Because he hit his head on the chair that was in the corner too. So yeah, did you hurt your head? And that shit was funny. Then he grabbed his ass and slung him into the barricade on the other side harder than he did the first time.
And they ultimately fight and get back into the ring. And the match is in and out the ring equally the whole time.
Yeah.
So with tables set up, prepped up, and everything needed, which didn't take long, because it was like, Shane know how to keep walking and getting things done. And Kenny King was at points in the chase, so it's not a lot of waiting and boring. Mm-hmm. No, it's I know what they should have done, but they didn't do it that way. It's annoying. It really bugs me. So I'm trying not to go into that. So they get in the ring. They do some battle. They eventually get up to the top rope. And King, he counters something Shane was trying to do, but King then uses he nails an avalanche blockbuster from the top rope to the outside on 2 tables.
Mm-hmm. And King took most of that.
Yes. Shane took a good amount, but King took the great majority. Okay, King lays this is a little later. King lays into Shane with 2 shots with the kendo stick and then chokes him. Okay, that's in the ring. And then King gets a hold of a trash can and, he slams the trash can on the Taylor. And then King rushes in and Taylor counters with a sambo slam onto the trash cans. And CJ had to point out that Shane Taylor had a lot of control when he caught King in the corner.
He could have done anything he wanted to King because the trash can moved. It wasn't like he was just dropping them on the mat. It moved because, when they're running, shit moves. And he had to keep him elevated and slightly alter position, very slightly, to get him dropped flushly on the trash can and not hit the edge.
And I mean, he had him. It looked like I know he couldn't. I know, but it looked like he could have held him all day long.
Yeah, he could have ran to Kansas and back. He just
So then, a little bit after that, Shane whacks King across the chest many times with the kendo stick. Sorry, y'all yawning. It's getting late.
No, it's late.
Yeah, what is it? 12:55. I think the computer's 3 minutes fast. Okay, so after that, Taylor put King on the table and laid a right bare knuckle punch, laying King back on it, and then Taylor went up, ran off the apron he jumped with a body press onto the table. He broke that shit in half and crumpled King up almost to a fetal position. So that was good. Then Taylor sets the tables against the corner. King uses a capoeira kick to stun Shane, and then he uses a rolling Death Valley driver into the corner, but and covers him, but only for a 2 count. Then a little bit later, they get the ladders in the ring. These very long, wide ladders. It takes forever for Shane to get this shit set up. It really does.
But they're really big and cumbersome, so I understand why.
It takes so long. The crowd starts murmuring and they get annoyed. And then King is standing there with the kendo stick with Taylor's back turned to him, and he's like looking to the crowd like, yeah, I'm going to wait for this. And so he's saving it a little bit because it's taking way too long. And then in Shayla, you could tell that Shane Taylor went from, let me put this together, to, I want to make it nice. You could see it.
Or some of the adrenaline might have been edging off.
Yeah. I can definitely agree with that. So, yawning my ass off. I only start yawning when I'm talking. The whole time you was watching the match, CJ, I'm chilling. Time to talk. Okay, yawn time. What the fuck? Some more bullshit. I don't like yawning. People want to hear me talk, right? Okay. So, King whacks him, puts him on there, whacks him. I think he stomped him, maybe, I don't know. But then King, he climbs up, not to the very top, but close. And CJ had to call it out. Everybody standing up and got their phones out. They recording. And some, I think, just want to take pictures. But I'm sure this is going to be plastered all over the internet, though. But King dove off very high. And he landed on Shane, and they bent up that bottom ladder. And then after that, King starts breaking down the ladders and throwing them from the ring.
Yeah. Because, they dangerous.
And Taylor recovers. Taylor isn't selling the ribs. He's not selling his back. That's a problem I have. Because now, when King dove off, I don't know if you saw this, but he killed a lot of his falling momentum when he slammed his feet onto the mat first. He hit the mat with his feet hard. I don't know if he was wearing steel toe shoes or not, but he hit hard that mat before he touched Shane. So he saved both of them then. Okay. Now Taylor recovers. And this is when you get the first good flurry of the match. And it was epic. Because Taylor lands 2 bare knuckle punches. Shane drops, catches a rising knee, not Shane, but King drops and catches a rising knee, and then Shane Taylor as that 180 Tenzon Tombstone driver for a 2 count. She was like, he's gonna kick out. You could feel it, couldn't you?
I could see it. He was waiting. You could see it in his eyes.
Fair enough. I wasn't even looking. I was just looking. I was like, is there blood?
I always look at the faces when they get in, when they can show.
Yeah, I try not to because I don't want to spoil it for myself. If you look at a wrestler's face when they're getting pinned, you can tell if they're gonna kick out or not. If their eyes are closed, they're getting pinned. Usually, predominantly, if their eyes are closed, they're getting pinned. If their eyes are wide open, they're kicking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're on the outside. It's a little fighting. They get to the outside. King has set the ladder up from apron to apron. Well, apron to barricade. Shane's walking and King spits at him. It's like, oh, come on, dude.
Mm-hmm. Gross shit.
They get on the ladder, and Shane calls one of the ring boys or whatnot over.
Both of them, because Shane's big and it won't steady.
So they came over and they was holding it, trying to support it and hold it, and then it kills the belief, but it happens. They up there and they start slugging it out. Shane hit Kenny and Kenny started falling back. Shane grabbed him.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, he grabbed Kenny by his right arm.
Okay, I thought Kenny grabbed Shane. Okay.
And then Kenny hit Shane. Shane got wobbly and Kenny grabbed Shane, I think, by his singlet a little bit and his arm.
Then just started holding each other and hitting each other.
Yes. And so they going back and forth. They're hitting each other. I'm building up there because this is epic, everybody. For those that haven't seen it, and for those that saw it but then don't remember, but still, Kenny's like, "What I tell you, Shane, you always gonna be my bitch," and Shane headbutts the shit out of him. And then Taylor lands the package pile driver on the ladder, but mainly the floor. Whereas King is spiked on the back of his neck. When he pile drives him on the ladder, King, if he touches the ladder, it's that so quick thing that you think, oh, he didn't touch it, but no, he got popped. I honestly didn't even go back and try to slow it down or anything like that.
And see, I don't think I don't think he touched the ladder or the floor.
King touched that floor.
I mean, but not initially, because it's a whole lot of compression that would have had to happen.
Here's what
on Shane's body.
Here's what happened. Shane picks him up. Powell drops him. Okay, he drops him. The ladder folds. Not folds, it rolls over. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. When he dropped, he could have, his head could have hit the ladder. But it's those things that are so quick, like if somebody slip and fall on ice and they crack the back of their head on concrete, but you don't see it. You look at them, you never blink, and they hit, bam, on their back, and their head just stays up. You just can't see that rapid, like 0.001 second when his head cracked the concrete, and you wonder, why is his head bleeding? Why has he lost his memory? It's like, because he did hit the ice,
I get that. And if Shane had been doing your standard drop to your knees power driver, I wouldn't have shit to say. But Shane sits out when he does it. Yeah, and he don't spread his legs.
That's right. So most likely, he didn't. Most likely
and
he
there's
didn't.
So much. It's possible. Like I said, it's possible his body could have compressed.
That's what I'm saying.
And King's head could have hit, got clipped by
when that ladder rolled over, who knows what happened?
And maybe hit the floor.
And then,
but it's a strong likelihood that it didn't because there's just so much of Shane.
Yeah,
he's so squishy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big dude, and that's why his moves look so damn amazing. He knows how to use that weight to add impact. But when they hit, the ladder rolls and he keeps falling. Shane kind of goes, how can I say, he's higher elevated than King, and King drops onto the back of his neck, onto the floor, and Shane crumples like just a smidge movement behind him, but he rolls away real quick. King is just there upside down, and he flops over, and it's a scary moment. It was a scary moment. King hit hard. Luckily, Shane wasn't all on top of him, but Shane was on him a little bit, not much. But if Shane's still having that power driver position, and King had escaped from his body as much as he did, and Shane dropped on top of him, I think he'd have a damaged back, spine, or neck. I think King would have been messed up right then. So there was a lot of fortune in that misfortunate situation. I'm just saying, it was nasty. So then Taylor grabs a chair, gets into the ring, covers King for a 2 count. With the chair in hand, Taylor looks at King, who shouts, "What are you waiting for? Fucking do it!" Shane strikes the chair. He strikes King with the chair, lays him out, picks him up, package power driver on the chair, and scores a 3 count. At the end, when so many people come to the ring,
everybody come out.
STP come to the ring and whatnot, and some others. Coleman went to the ring and others like that.
Isom and Cheeseburger.
Shane hands King a shirt, and I think it's King's old shirt, or the shirt that he would have if he was in Shane Taylor Promotions. I think I couldn't really see the shirt too well. But then they hug it out, squashing their beef, ending this long era feud. Let's see, I'm gonna make this quick. I don't like the fact that King was even shouting or yelling that in the first place, because that means he's lucid, he's conscious. Then that means he should have been smart enough to get the fuck out the way. Somebody's gonna strike me with a chair. I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, my former friend turned greatest mortal enemy, hit me with that thing and fuck me up."
Hey, maybe all he got was words. Maybe his body's like, nope.
Now that leads to the other part, which is how I wouldn't have done this match this way. It's too contrived. It's too many working parts. It would have been some tables, some chairs, no kendo sticks. Would have been none. There might have been other little things just for old, like some cookie sheets and stuff, just old hardcore stuff. And then whoop the shit out of somebody with that stuff. Like with a cookie sheet and stuff like that, you can crack them multiple times. You got a chair. Chairs are common. Whoop a fool with that chair. You can do this. You can cause so much damage. But in this match, neither one of these guys looked like they were getting hurt. They didn't sell damage. I mean, this. And then it's like you got to work and set the things up to hurt each other so much that you can't show that you're in pain, because you got to work to be an architect. It's too many working things. I wouldn't have had the ladders out there. I wouldn't have had the ladders. I would have had much smaller tables too. It just wouldn't have been like that. It's too much. Too much. I would have had to look, y'all got to get some blood on you. Y'all got to beat the shit out of each other. You got to take it home. You have got to put on show everybody why they need to keep their love for Ring of Honor. Show everyone why Ring of Honor has been great. Showing that we could do even these hardcore matches better than anybody else.
I'm glad there wasn't any blood. Blood's cliche.
Not to me. I don't see it that much anymore.
I'm glad I don't see it, because it was every night somebody's bleeding. Every night somebody's bleeding.
What? Ring of Honor?
No, I mean wrestling in general. It got so frequent. It's like it's boring. I don't bleed.
But
please.
If you see somebody bleeding a lot, yeah, that'll change that dynamic. You'd be like, oh shit. And if they're selling properly with all that blood, it'd be believable. I hate when people like Cody and others get a tiny little trickle of blood and they act like, oh no, blood loss, lightheaded. No. I've bled 20 times more than any of these fools on 2 separate occasions, and lightheadedness doesn't happen. So, hey, I'm just saying, I need someone to make it believable.
And that's what I'm saying. Because unfortunately, the first thing I think when they're bleeding a lot is like, you shouldn't have cut so deep.
Yeah.
The suspension of belief is no longer there for me.
Yeah, because you're like, well, damn, obviously you cut yourself deep and you know that the person didn't do it. But if you saw King crack that fool with that chair and he's bleeding like crazy, you believe it. Because he hit him with a fucking metal object.
It depends on what happened right after that. If he went hide in the corner, that'd be different.
Yeah. No, if he like bam hit him with the chair and he throws the chair out and then Shane is standing there or on his knees and you see the blood coming down. Okay. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all about how it has to be done now. You know, thanks for exposing so much of the business that now it has to have a whole new bag of tricks, which is going to be harder to do.
Yeah, I bled more than any of y'all ever have, so it's like y'all.
I bled enough to turn two white shirts red. It had to be cut off me.
I've been bleeding for damn near 30 years.
So, you know, it's going to take a lot for us to believe you. Any case, you know, we just spent 20 minutes on this one. Let's get to the next match. All right, everyone. So we come to the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship. We've got the happiest girl, Willow, versus the current Ring of Honor World Women's Champion, Roxy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this: when the matches begin, when they was coming out, I was like, I don't have high hopes for this match, and it's I just care about in-ring performance, and I haven't seen. Now, Roxy has been consistently amazing. In her accuracy, her timing.
She's polished. She's professional. She's safe.
Now, Willow, I haven't seen enough of. In terms of because I haven't seen her if she's very polished or whatnot. I haven't seen it because I've seen. Here's a problem with the females is they tend to move slow, and I don't like that because they can move faster. They just I don't know what's up with the company. I don't know if it's a policy or something because you can see some events in other promotions where these women are like running all over the place. They're high speed, they're higher impact. And then you get to major promotions like slow down, be gentle, be nice, and it's mind-boggling. But face versus face, I didn't care too much about that. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to see they're going to, have good in-ring performance. I wrote some stuff down, but were you going to jump the gun and go to the spoils of the match?
Nope. Okay, as you said, Roxy has performed stellarly up to this point, and it seems to me that up to this point Roxy has been checking off all the boxes. She's got a repertoire, and when she cannot check off all the boxes, it scrambles her. Now what you do once you're scrambled says a lot, but Willow is a thoroughbred horse, and she's at the gate at the Kentucky Derby, and she wants to go, and they just keep holding her. That's what I see. Because to me,
you're calling her a four-legged animal, muzzled and held in gates?
Yes. Because to me, she looked like she was raring to go. And she had to dial it back for Roxy. That's the way it looked.
She did.
She had to dial it back for Roxy, and it didn't look good.
I'm gonna say this. The problem with this match is it didn't look competitive at all. Not where it counted. Roxy folded at every major moment. And I don't know why she did that. I don't know. She was just trying to make Willow look bad, or I don't know. But let me explain. Let me get into this match, okay? I wrote very little down. The match was just straight up catch as catch can, professional wrestling. There's a counter for everything. They know each other's stuff, so they countered everything.
No.
That's what they were trying to present.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Roxy went for everything she could in the beginning, and Willow was like, "Nope, not doing that, not doing that. You want to do the cartwheel over me? I'm gonna sweep your hand. You want to arm drag me? Nope, I'm gonna stop you. You want to hip toss me? Nope, I'm gonna stop that. You want to try to run around me? Nope, I'm gonna stop that." Willow stopped everything, and then when Willow was trying to go for certain things, she was getting it. But they weren't anything major. It was just messing around with Roxy. You know, it just, hey, I took your cartwheel. Hey, I can arm drag you. Hey, I can do this. So it was just little stuff. They didn't get into their personal repertoire. They kept it pro wrestling, and they was blocking a lot of each other's stuff. It's just Willow got more of her wrestling in, but Roxy and Willow was countering each other like crazy, blocking, evading. They did that at the very open of the match, and then it got stopped when Willow landed a nice pounce. You know, and Roxy hit, and it looked like she smacked her head on the apron and didn't know what she was just for a second. Now I noticed that she hit and she just kind of paused and her whole body froze up. Normally when she hits, she crumples like some Joshi and she's got to figure it out. No, her whole body went rigid. So I'm wondering if she smacked her head on the hardest part of that apron. You know, you couldn't see it.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. So then, a little bit later, when Roxy tried to jump over her, she got caught. And I guess Dude Buster Driver, when Willow sat down into the reverse pile driver, he got a 2 count.
And she was so gentle with that. She could have fucked her up.
Yep, but she was very gentle. And then I started seeing the Willow that I've wanted to see. Get a little mean. You can see that. And it wasn't a facial expression that Willow gave, because we've seen these little flashpoints of being firm, but this was a stance. It was a stance of I ain't taking your shit. It was just that short, brief moment when they did a small exchange, and I was like, she got a mean side. And I wasn't talking about someone gets upset in the ring, yada yada yada. No, I was talking about in real life. She's got a mean streak somewhere in her. And I was like, it'd be cool if I get to see that in the match though. But
so the eyelashes off?
Yeah, the eyelashes started coming undone.
And then she did that thing when it started. She was like, "Hit me, chop me." No, Roxy cut that shit the fuck off.
Yep.
Chop, back kick, go to the next move.
She chopped Roxy and she landed it well. It was perfect, and the crowd was behind Willow the whole time. The crowd loves Willow, and Willow is beaming with happiness and optimism and outright straight maximum adorbs.
Joy and brightness and color, and I'm gonna go out here and do my best.
The absolute antithesis of every other professional wrestler out there. The only one that can rival her is Smiling Kylie Rae.
And Smiling Kylie Rae is a cheat.
Yes, she is. She's a little dashing little something. I love it.
Did you finish your notes?
Nope.
Okay, go ahead.
So it got to the point where Willow was getting up there, was gonna do something with Roxy. Roxy dropped down. Willow's perched up on the middle rope, leaning over. So Roxy's got the beat on her, climbed to the top rope and beat on her back, and the crowd wasn't too happy about that. And then Roxy climbs down and tries to pull her down for the power bomb, but she could not hold her up.
She buckled.
And she dropped her, but you could tell her body just crumpled. You could see Roxy's back and knees give out. But she did power bomb her, and she tried to get her, but she kicked out. She kicked out of the power bomb, you know. And then they fight. They do some things. Willow turns that mean streak on, and they start fighting, and that's when them chops happened. And she's like, bring it. You can see Willow bring it. Then you see the battler come out in her. And she got Roxy into the corner. And she got her up and superplexed her brutally. And I mean, she superplexed Roxy. And Roxy crumpled like garbage hitting the street. And it was just brutal. Willow goes to the top rope and does her moonsault. And she hits flush and almost on her side. It looked devastating. I'm not gonna lie. In general, I ain't even seen KG Muto or anyone hit a moonsault that brutal. I ain't even. Now I've seen Vader and Kurt Angle hit it, but I've never seen anyone else hit a moonsault that brutal.
It was something.
Even Jacob Fatu's moonsault don't even look that brutal. It's brutal, but when someone is y'all, if y'all saw this, you'd be like, "Oh, I see what you mean." That's what you would say. I see what you mean. And she hit that for a 2 count.
Shouldn't have been a 2 count.
The crowd was they were upset.
Not happy.
And the crowd loves Roxy. They love Willow.
The crowd left Roxy halfway through the match.
Yep.
When they saw what I'm gonna get into after you finish.
And then just inexplicably, just out of nowhere, after a spinning middle kick, Roxy gets, she jumps up on Willow for the Yoshi Tonic, can't really do much, and Willow has to flip over herself. She has to put herself in Roxy's move. It's how the Yoshi Tonic work. You know how that's going to go. Both wrestlers got to cooperate. With this, Willow had to do it, and Roxy had to make it look good, and she couldn't. For a 3 count, and the crowd was pissed.
The crowd booed.
They were pissed with Roxy.
And then they started chanting Willow.
And Roxy, you can see on her face, what the fuck? You can see it. She's like, why am I not the popular one? And then she's like, I got to work with this. So she's like, yeah, Willow, shake the hand.
Yeah, Willow extended the hand. The hand.
The code of honor was adhered, and you could tell Roxy was stunned, and Willow's like, yay. Like, you kept the belt, but I won the title. That's kind of how it looked.
Okay, so Roxy...
Yeah, before I get to the aftermath.
Oh, you mean the chick?
Yeah.
Okay. Roxy is very technically skilled. She's quick. She's got a lot of lucha transitions. You can train, shoot. You can tell she was trained in that. Here is the thing about lucha. Lucha only really works well when the ones doing it are almost the same size. They don't have to be shaped the same, but the general same size and weight, give or take, that's when it looks its best. Okay? If you are someone like Roxy, who is 5'1", and small, wrestling Willow, who is 5'6", but she's thick, but she's also strong. Roxy is not strong. If you think about any of the female wrestlers who have been successful, even if they're small, they are also strong. Jacqueline, Jazz, to name a few. Angelina Love, she ain't strong as she used to be, but she's still strong. You have to have strength to go with your speed and your technical ability if you're a woman to be able to compete with the landscape of females. And all that Willow did is show her is that your technical wrestling is not going to work because you are weak. That's why she was able to stop everything she was doing. Physically, she is not able to pick up someone her size and do anything with her because she is not strong enough. And Willow just, whether she meant to or not, and I think she meant to, she just exploited all that shit. And the crowd could see it. Willow should have had that belt because she was the better wrestler, but that's not what the program was set up to do.
This match, now Cedra's coming from it from a fan's point of view, predominantly. But she is right. You look at the schematics, you look at how these two look in the ring, you look at the tail of the tape, you look at their experience, you look at what they can do in their matches, and Willow, every iota of her says, destroy Roxy. every piece of it. She's got not only the height, she's got the size, and she has power. The only thing that Willow would probably lack is the speed, which is something that Roxy wasn't even trying to go into, because Roxy's not a sprinter. She's not a runner in that ring.
I think that Willow might have some speed. There was just no need for her to show it in this match. I mean, it didn't serve.
I wish y'all could have been listening to Cedra during this match. I had to keep it to myself. I was laughing inside.
Why? What did I do?
Oh, you were in this match. Oh, you were there. You might as well have been in the front row and had some money on it. You should have heard her. I don't even know if you realized what you were doing. That mess was funny. When it got to the point where they chopping each other, Cedra goes, "Fuck her shit up." I was like, the fuck? She says it under her breath with this menacing tone, "Fuck her shit up." I'm like, okay. And then they get into the spot where it was supposed to be the dude buster. She goes, "Drop down." She said she's a manager on the outside and Willow can just heed her commands. And she goes, "Drop down." I was like, oh shit. I almost looked around the monitor to see, like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? And like, you should just drop on her head. I was like, Cedra is really into this. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil her fun. I was like, this is how a fan should be, you know? And then when she suplexes her off the top rope, she hits her. She goes, "Go for the moonsault. Do it." I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, she does not hear her. She does not hear herself. It's like, "Go for the moonsault. Do it." Like, what the fuck? And then she goes up top. Willow goes up top, moonsaults and hits, and she's like, "Yes!" And she clutches her fist when I was like, what the? You're not winning this belt. I didn't say it, but I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I was sitting there holding my abdomen like, don't laugh out loud. Don't ruin it, man. Just hold it in. Hold it in. And then Roxy kick out and she's like, bullshit. I was like, and she just, I was like, oh my God. Cedra is upset. I'm like, wow, okay. I'm not gonna rain on her parade. I'm not gonna shit on her enjoyment. This is amazing right here. This is the main event. That's how I was feeling. And then she gets that Yoshi tonic, and Cedra gets stone cold quiet. Just sucks the noise out of the room. She is so quiet. She is owed noise. Good grief. I mean, it's strange, but it happened. She hit that shit, and not only was Cedra quiet, the crowd got quiet. Like, what's gonna happen? And you can hear the crowd was like, you know, those that are kind of just watching a wrestling show, they were cheering, but everyone else they just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, those are the Ring of Honor fans.
Yeah, those are the ones that know better. 1, 2, 3, and everyone shut the fuck up. And she was like, bullshit. It was it was just so menacing. Bullshit. I was like, whoa.
Because it didn't look believable.
No, it didn't.
She should have lost.
And the crowd was like,
and the crowd was calling shenanigans with the fucking boos.
Willow missed a kick and the crowd was chanting, "You fucked up." But then Willow loses and the crowd is pissed. Like, Willow should have won.
Like, you can fuck up, but you should have won this match.
The old school Ring of Honor crowd was there tonight. Ring of Honor crowds will tell you who they love and who they think should win by chanting their name. That is what was lost and has been bastardized in the rest of pro wrestling. Ring of Honor, you got two people wrestling, and then they tell you who they want to win. They will chant that name. That's what they were known for at one point.
And see, in the beginning, when it first started, they was like the Roxy, Willow. They're going back and forth. But 40% into it, it got quiet when Roxy was doing shit because she was drowning.
She wasn't upholding the move. She didn't look like she should be winning or anything, you know. And now she's going to go against Holiday at their Christmas event. Honestly, you can't. You should have lost to Willow. You damn sure need to lose to Holiday.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Because Holiday uses that power. She ain't just strong, but she's a power wrestler.
Yes, she's got size. She's got height, weight, and power.
I don't know if it's all the fact that she's not strong enough. I don't know if she was nervous because she was floundering even before she potentially hit her head. So, yeah.
There could be a lot of things, but
it didn't look good.
This was not Roxy's night, and I don't know why they... I don't know. She just... More of a legacy of women's champion for this year, I guess, would be a reason to have her keep the title. But other than that, I would have switched the titles, and then it would have been defended against Holiday, or she can defend it now and then lose to Holiday. But either case,
I mean, Holiday is just that we know she's gonna beat Holiday because she's got to go on the. Oh, you haven't got to the part yet.
So after that, Deonna Purrazzo comes out and she makes a challenge. She's like, "Look, I'm the AAA, Reina de Reina champion, and soon I'm going to be the total nonstop action knockouts champion after beating Mickie James. So when I beat her and I'm a double champion, then I want you. And the match will be winner takes all." And honestly, Roxy's hand came out before I think Roxy could think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That hand leapt out like, "Shake, man, shake!" And there you go. That the match is made, and it's going to be in TNA because Ian Riccaboni was sure enough letting you know what time, what channel, what company. So, all right, it'll be what it is.
And we've only seen the Virtuosa wrestle once, but she's good.
She's damn good.
She's good.
However, here's the problem. The fact that she says that, and they already talked about where it will be,
lets you know
that she's going to beat Holiday.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's where you fuck up. So, y'all might want to keep that shit in mind. Any company out there, anyone that wants to be or run a professional wrestling company, don't do that shit. Don't be like, she'll defend it if she can keep it. She's got to go against Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
It's all assured now. Holiday might as well, what the fuck am I going to be out there for? I guess to collect the paycheck.
Yeah, that's about it.
Go out there, I'll do a few moves and bow and say, I'm better than this, and then take a count out and leave, and nobody has to do anything. You'll get paid. Because other than that, it's just bullshit now. It's like 1986 Hulk Hogan putting his WWF Heavyweight Championship on the line against the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
Which I saw that, and I knew who was going to win.
They did that shit.
Yeah, he was managed by Bobby Heenan. And he put it against Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and he won. He put it against Ted DiBiase once, and Hulk Hogan won. Hogan always won, so I'm like, why the fuck are we even doing this? Just that's how I was as a kid. Why are we even doing this? Just say he won, and then keep the motherfuckers in the back, and put the motherfuckers out there and have a chance of winning. That's what I thought as a kid.
Yeah, so, before even doing this dance, it's a waste of energy.
Yeah. Pay him and just say, who, put out there, who's going to win, and then they don't have to come out. In any case, let's roll. Okay, our next match is pitting Violence Unlimited against the Foundation. So, Violence Unlimited, you got Brody King, Homicide, Tony Deppen, and
Rocky Romero.
Yeah, I was saying because there was an injury, there's a replacement, so Rocky Romero is joining their side. Doesn't really make sense, but Okay.
Right, he gets in where he fits in.
There you go. Sneaky style, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they are versus the Foundation, Tracy Williams, Taylor Rust, Eli Isom, and EC3. I didn't write any notes.
Too much going on to write notes.
Yeah, just I knew it's a multi-man match. I knew how it was going to go. And Ring of Honor do their multi-man matches right.
Mm-hmm.
They do them right.
Do them really well.
So, yeah, everyone gets their shit in, and then at the end, it picks up pace, and everyone hits a finisher or a stun, and then time to send them home. And honestly, that would be Brody King hitting a version of the Gonzo Bomb on Eli Isom and pinning him. Okay, so we've gone through that. Eli Isom was the star of the show. He went through everything. Mm-hmm. He didn't do everything, but he was fighting. He was showing, I'm still here. He grew his hair out a lot more.
It's the same length. It may be a little longer, but he normally has it very bound up and rolled tight.
It was thicker. That's really what I was thinking about. It's just thicker.
Oh, okay.
It sucks. All this time building Eli Isom up is just going away. You know, not forever. Allegedly, not forever. But you know, it might be.
It's obvious it can't be forever because they're setting the stage for shit.
To an extent, yes, they are. I like this match. Homicide, he was doing everything. That was a point. He pulled a fork out against EC3 and started, and he's like, and EC3, yes, stab me. Stick
it into me.
Yeah, stick it into me.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's crazy, but I get it. EC3 is someone I get. And I understand to an extent. EC3 is. I don't know how he was in WWE. I don't know how he was. I practically don't give a shit. But I like what I see here. Mm-hmm. I had to get to know him. I didn't like him when he first showed up. I was like, what this dude? He didn't even do shit. He didn't do anything. Shit. But I get it. And I hate that I'm getting it so late. He's good work. EC3 is he's got wrestling down. He gets it. So Isom is left in the ring
after taking 2 finishers.
Yeah, the vertebraker or cop killer, as Homicide call it. He took that brutally, and he sold that move the rest of the match.
He ducked something that Brody King tried to
lariat. He ducked the lariat and then collapsed.
It just died in the ring.
Eli Isom, after that cop killer, that vertebraker, that move, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna straight up tell you. People need to watch Isom and learn from him. And he's still new to the game. Mm-hmm. They need to watch him and learn. He took a finisher and didn't pop up. He ain't fighting back in 10 seconds or 30 seconds. He was donezo. He was able to throw blows and fall out. He was not able to connect much of anything. Mm-hmm. He was done.
I've been waiting for someone to pick him up. When Dalton Castle showed interest, I was like, no, not this fuckhead.
Yeah, that's just no.
I was hoping the Shane Taylor Promotions would.
You too.
That's what I was hoping would pick him up, but EC3.
At the end, EC3 cuts a promo, and I really thought he was going one place, and he went another. Mm-hmm. He and Brian Johnson come to me, you keep my name out of your mouth. You don't mention my name. And then he says, you lost your job and they abandoned you. You've worked so long, and they leave, and
you lost everything.
Yep, Brian Johnson his head dropped.
It
like,
was
fuck.
Yeah, too much real.
Too much real. And he was like, and EC3, he got out there and he did something I would have done too. It's just that he's setting up something else for Ring of Honor and or something else. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he called out so easy how the top brass. Oh yeah, company folds. Fuck your job, but hey, I'm cushion. I'm good. I get to go home and chill, and, and I still make money. And then the other the wrestling leaders, they just nowhere to be found. He was doing some real talk. He was doing some real talk. And then he went into his own spiel. And yeah, I don't know what he was going on about. I don't know what he control your narrative, and he called out the people that had got there this year, more or less. I know Iceland's been there for a couple of years.
They've all been there about the same amount of time,
but they didn't really break out strongly until this year.
Yeah,
you've seen them. They had plenty of matches on TV prior to it.
They were trying before the pandemic hit, and so when Ring of Honor came back, they were getting pushed.
So he had everyone in that ring, more or less the new guys, and it's like, if you can take this punishment or pain, I'll give you your freedom. And Brian Johnson's like, the fuck you talking about? You can see it on his face. And then this big motherfucker come in, and I'm like, who's this guy?
He called him Titan.
Yeah, he's like, unleash the Titan. Release the Kraken.
If you know where that's from, you get an e-cookie.
And so, big dude come in, beat the damn shit out of everyone, and the other little minions do it too. And EC3 is like, this isn't a takeover, this is an awakening. And I'm like, okay, you got a group. Now what? Well, his group picks up Isom, Draper, Johnson. Who else was out there?
That's it.
That's it. Those three, and they carry him off.
Pick him up and carry him off.
And as Coleman said, he's walking up these stairs with a grown ass man
over his shoulder. Yep.
So I don't know what's gonna come of this. It is what it is. And
I just gotta say this one thing. Earlier in the match, EC3 and Brody King were in the ring, and EC3 picked up Brody King for a pile driver, and it took him a second because Brody's big. Yeah, and it's gonna take a while to get your balance right to be able to do that move safely. So it wasn't immediate.
And you can see them knees shaking.
But you can see every muscle in EC3's quads working to stabilize his body.
That man is obscene.
Because the skin's just lay right over the muscles. You can see the muscles flexing. It was incredible. And kind of creepy.
I'm about to rewind it so I can see it. I wasn't paying attention. I ain't looking at some dude like that,
I'm looking at the move, man.
Yeah, that thigh is the move, isn't it? So what's that silence for?
Because you fucking with me.
I'm not fucking with you. I'm over here.
Ain't got no bottle to shake at you.
Yeah. Quit it.
I ain't doing nothing.
So we're gonna move on. There's all these little things between matches and stuff, and they got the
Young Bucks.
Yeah, fuck them. Any case, we're gonna go into some important shit. Let's roll. Okay, our next match here is Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. The Briscoes versus the OGK. And this match, this was just Ring of Honor doing what they can to be epic because they don't know what else to do but be epic.
Exactly.
You know, this
OGK had Maria out there with him.
Yep.
Like back in the day.
Yep. So I'm gonna run through this. The most important stuff, and I'm just gonna burn through it. All right. Mm-hmm. So Kerry Silkin joins broadcast. Fuck that guy. I'm just mad at him. I'm just like, fight your balls off to keep it running. No, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. Not for the guy because I don't know the absolute truth of how things are, but he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. The Sinclair broadcasting system, that's that big company that makes, I think they average $78 billion a year.
That must be nice.
They can't take care of their wrestlers, So, opening parts, they wrestle, they do their thing, and then it spills to the outside where they've got the Briscoes, Bennett does. He's got the Briscoes held up. Taven runs for a suicida, and I blinked. And when I looked at the screen, I looked back, and Bennett is by himself and getting nailed by Taven.
The Briscoes vacated the premises.
Just gone. Okay. They reverse the tables. Briscoes do the same thing, except it's Jay holding them. Mark jumps. Jay, he bails quick, and Mark nails both of the OGK. Mm-hmm. All right. So now it's time to speed through and go through my notes because eventually it gets heavy. So Jay got busted open at some point.
Yeah, we don't know when.
It is nasty. It's nasty. Ugh. And he act like it ain't there, so that lets you know what wrestlers go through in training and during their matches.
And farming chickens.
Well, I think the chickens, we saw him punk Mark once. That was some years ago. So Bennett hits a great brain buster on Jay. It doesn't even try to pin him.
Nope.
He drags him to the apron, and hangs him off the apron so Taven can do a diving splash on the Jay Briscoe held by Bennett. So that's nice. That's out on the floor.
And that parks Jay for a little bit.
Yeah. So inside, later, Taven hits the climax on Jay. So he couldn't get the 3 with that. Jay hits a forceful elbow suicida on Taven to the outside. Mark hits an apron ram blockbuster on Bennett. Mark hits the froggy bow on Taven in the ring. I'm speeding through this. Maria on the 2 count. Maria pulls the ref's leg and a crowd erupts. Mm-hmm. They are pissed. And commentators like, she ain't always been good, and no, they ain't always been good. Just like it is what it is. And things get out of hand. Bennett tries to spear Mark, but he gets out the way, and Bennett spears Maria instead.
On the apron.
All on the apron. Just gored his wife. Just fucked her up. That relationship is over. You should have saw it. Ribs all cracked in half. Maria don't even know her own name anymore.
What the hell?
Her hair she got hit so hard her hair braided itself.
Not the color out of it too.
You have no idea how brunette she is. You should have saw it. There was red dye on the mat and everything.
Boots fell off.
It was terrible. So then Bennett hits a power driver on Jay on the floor. And then outside a little bit later, it was a doomsday device. Bennett had Mark up, and Bennett's like, all right, come on, Taven. Taven's like, okay, okay.
He was not sure about doing this at all.
I don't want to do this, man. It's like, but I got to now. It's all, you done set it up.
Yep.
And so he dove
over
out
the top rope
and hit that clothesline. Nice. It looked solid, but when he crashed, he hurt that knee.
Mm-hmm. He fell like 15 feet.
Well, yeah. And you know that he got knee problems as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they throw Mark into the ring for a 2 count. The OGK hit a spike power driver on Mark, a diving spike power driver on Mark, more towards the middle of the ring. Jay runs in with a save. Taven had covered Mark like a lover. That's what Cedra had said.
He did, just laid on him fully.
Mark didn't kick out, and when Jay made the save, Mark didn't move.
And Jay just laid there for a second.
Yep. And so it shows you how bad it was getting. And then they did some fighting. Jay kicked the damn shit out of Taven at one point. He got that kick in. It looked nasty. I love that running boot kick. And it looked like, when you think back on, like he ran with his leg in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So Jay Driller on Bennett. Jay Driller on Taven for a 2 count. Briscoes hit the Doomsday Device on Taven for a 2 count. Jay Driller on Taven. Froggy Bow on Taven for a 3 count, and new champions. Jay Briscoe's like, I ain't got shit left but Jay Driller.
That's all he had. It was no more boot kicks, no more punches, no more other wrestling moves. It's like it's Jay Driller and fall out. He laid down 3 different Jay Drillers. That's all that he was capable of doing.
It was brutal. Okay.
Mark was seriously bringing up the rear.
Yeah, Mark about had nothing left.
He was working hard to pick up the slack because Jay was they had put it on Jay.
Mark and Jay, they win. They got the belts. Jay's like, look, hey, this is the end of an era, but it sure as hell ain't the end of the Briscoes. Anybody out, any tag team out there, and then the lights go out, they come back on. And it's FTR, and they on the apron, and it's like, what? And they stand, and I like how they do it. They stand there long enough for everyone's eyes to readjust and realize, wait, these people in the ring, wait, they look, oh, wait, it's the dude. So you could, it went right in that order, exactly how that went, and the place explodes when they start fighting, and I'm like, man, now I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a fight. And it's a good one. But I saw through something. And it was funny. It was funny. You have to go back and look now, y'all. Mark and Wheeler, Cash Wheeler, they fighting at the corner and decide to wrap themselves up in the ribbons, in the streamers. Having fun. So I saw through that. That was them like, I want to play in the stream. Ring of Honor talent have always wanted to play in them damn streamers. Throughout the years, they want to play in the streamers. Thank you, New Japan, for doing that a handful of times. And thank you for those other Japanese promotions where they throw the streamers in. And thank you, Meiko, for really throwing the streamers in. Oh my goodness! I ages ago I had read something that in Mexico, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, that the streamers came about. This is what I read. I don't know if this shit is true, and I doubt it is. But people were angry at certain wrestlers, so they would throw toilet tissue into the ring. So they said, look, you want to throw something at the wrestlers, here's some colorful streamers, it'll make the show look good, and you get to try to pop them. So people were throwing stuff in the ring trying to hit the wrestler. It wasn't about celebration. It was, I'm going to hit you with this so it looked good, and then it transitions into a thing of, if you love them, do this. Then it turned into, we honor this match, so throw it in. Ring of Honor adopted it by then, yada, 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 supposedly.
It'd be cool if that's true, because, if you get popped in the head with streamer, it's not going to really hurt.
No, but if it's true, that's great. But if it's not, it's
a nice thought.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts. They fight and it's broken up. The title's left in the ring. Cash goes out and attack the Briscoe. I don't know which one he jumped on, but they fight. The Briscoes get the belts back. Physically get the belts back. They're separated, so it's like, is it really over? You know, you still got one event left. So okay,
it's too much stage setting, y'all.
It's
You don't put the furniture on the stage. It ain't gonna be no more show.
And that's for real. So that's all that there is for that match. I thought this was an amazing tag team match. I would give this match 5 stars easily give this 5 stars. You know, I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed damn near every Briscoes match.
Yeah.
You know, they can do no wrong. Whew. One match left.
Let's go.
Yep. All right, everyone. It is the main event of the evening. It is the Ring of Honor World Championship. Jay Lethal versus Jonathan Gresham. And we was like, initially when I wrote this down, you know, because I'm not stalking shit like that anyway, but I wrote this down as Jay Lethal versus Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito, because I'm like, that's what makes sense, because Bandito's the current, you know, champion. And I'm like, Bandito ain't out there. And we did not give the full announcement time so that the commentator could inform. But as they said that Bandito caught COVID, okay, I still would have been like, oh, where the fuck he at? So before getting into this match, which I didn't write down any notes, didn't really have to, I got to say this. Bandito catches COVID-19. Don't know what variant he got. Because of this, he must be gone, and he is stripped of Ring of Honor World title. So he doesn't have the belt. So here's my thing. Why have him not compete when he has COVID, and yet put your wrestlers under strict COVID testing regulations to make sure that they're not, 1, have it when they get there, 2, don't spread it to anyone, and still allow all these goddamn dumbass fans into the door with no, you know they're dumbasses because they don't have a mask on. They're indoors at a wrestling event and don't even have the common goddamn courtesy to have a mask on. So you strip Bandito because he's got COVID-19, so he's possibly going to spread it, so you don't want him to have it. But you allow the fans in droves with no mask on, allowing those who may have it to spread it. That makes no damn sense.
No, it doesn't.
That's just dumb. You know? That's why it couldn't be my organization, because 1, if you come in here, you're wearing a mask. That's just it. Wear a mask or get the fuck out. And if at some point you decide, oh, during the event, I'm going to take my mask off because LOLs, catch you, you're gone. And fuck refunding your money. You're gone. Get the fuck out. You know, that's how I would run it. You're going to wear a mask. You're going to protect the wrestlers. We put our wrestlers through all kinds of tests. And when they are positive for COVID, they don't show up. And that can ruin a lot of matches. That's why card is subject to change. Way back in the day, you would say that.
So you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. A visa, an injury, a late flight, car breakdown, fan, back in the day, fan attacked a wrestler, the wrestler's in the hospital, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's just stupid. Just stupid. Now, getting into the match, I mean, it was really no brainer to me. The winner of this match is going to be Jonathan Gresham. Why? Just hear me out. For those that probably didn't think this, you got Jay Lethal, you got Jonathan Gresham. Now, Gresham does go to other places. So far, he hadn't contracted COVID. Jay Lethal the same way. But who's going to win the belt? Well, who is the one that can go to another company and win? That's the one who wins the belt.
Yeah.
You see, everyone, Adam Cole, Adam Page, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, all of these people, Orange fucking Cassidy, when they show up to AEW, they win. Jay Lethal show up, get a title shot and lose. Has another match and lose. Have another match on Dark and win after extreme competition. He win. How the fuck does it look to have your Ring of Honor world champion go to another organization and just keep losing? So no, he don't get the belt. He's not protected. He's not respected. It's obvious. Gresham is like, fuck AEW. I'm going to start my own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Terminus. That sounds beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that is for this. It's obvious. So they get doing the match. Okay, let's go with this match. Nice introduction. Ring announcer is like mad professional. The green streamer lands. He don't break stride or anything. He just keep on rolling.
Yeah, he did. Just kept announcing. Didn't even break stride at all.
The match starts. They get some wrestling in. They look real nice and smooth and polished as they are, as they've trained so much. You can see it. And then they start going into their small little repertoire. Jonathan Gresham is starting to work on Lethal. He takes advantage of a nasty shoulder block. And this is how you know someone knows the game of wrestling. Because both of these guys said, we're going to do this, and it's going to be a nagging thing and get to the end. So they do the shoulder block. Both of them hurt their arm, but Lethal's was worse. Gresham targeted that arm.
Mm-hmm.
He did the right thing. A champion will see a weakness and exploit it. That's what a champion will do, because he wants to retain that title. In this case, he wants to win it. So he exploits it. He goes after that arm with like two nasty stomps to it throughout the match.
Yep.
Lethal kept trying moves, and Gresham was just countering them. Lethal could barely do anything. And then what he could do, he got to the Hail to the King elbow drop. He was tightly compact because he couldn't jump that far. Gresham had rolled too close to the corner. It was still all good. I like when Lethal went for the lethal injection and he just collapsed because of his arm.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a nice touch.
I like when Gresham was on Lethal's back trying to put in
I was about to say that. Good going, girl. Go ahead.
Crossface chicken wing, and he tried for the longest to get his thing cinched in, but Gresham couldn't quite get it. So it looked like Lethal bucked him off his back into a horizontal position and dropped him into a cutter, and it was nice.
Beautiful work done. The crowd died.
Yeah. And I don't think it's because
they were tired.
They were tired. They have been blowing up and blowing up and blowing up
for two and
a half hours.
Yeah,
almost 3 hours straight.
It's like we got nothing left. And I've seen Ring of Honor do this before. When the crowd, they did this in one of Jay Lethal's matches. They did this. I think it was a Samoa Joe match. I think where it's a high stakes match. And the crowd is dead from all the goddamn cheering, which is why you shouldn't do a 3-hour pay-per-view. You don't do a 3-hour pay-per-view. You do a 2-hour maximum pay-per-view. Your title matches should be your longest matches. Get your other matches and grudge matches done first. do not start or mid-card any title matches because they are supposed to be important. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for those that out there don't know how to run a promotion, keep in mind, if your champions are important, you save the best for last, right? That's your champions. All of them. Save them for last, not first and not mid. So, in my ad, Ring of Honor did a good job with saving all their champions for last.
Not all of them.
Not all, no. But, more or less, you know. Still, they got a lot of matches, a lot of titles, and some singles matches were a little bit more important than title matches. Better build up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. That's just how I'm not going to do my show. Put too much damn work in that damn title match opening. Fuck that. Y'all going on last, because fuck it. So, Gresham works that arm steadily, breaks him down, and honestly, I was concerned because I don't know when it happened. I don't know why it happened. But Gresham's wrist tape was all over the place.
I think he was trying to take it off as the other wrestlers were coming out. And then when they got back up to continue, it was just all about.
Because they was coming out. And I'm like, the crowd is dead. They just doing this to hype it up. And the crowd got back into it, luckily. Thanks for getting me back on point, Cedra.
You're welcome.
ADD kicked in hardcore. Because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wait a minute. And I was looking at the leaves falling, and I thought about him. The way they're falling on the screen, I thought about Gresham unraveling the tape. And then it was like, oh, yeah, this. And then I was gone. So thanks for pulling me back in.
You're welcome.
So, Gresham, it looked like a mummy was missing his clothes. It was terrible. But, you know, he was doing what he could to gather it up and whatnot. I'm like, why you got so much goddamn tape on one wrist anyway? That's a good question. Hogging the tape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got wristbands out there, man.
They do. Nitro uses them.
Yeah. You know? Keeps the blood flowing and everything.
Wipe up sweat.
Yeah. You know, grab your wrist, you know, and get the sweat off your hands so you can keep grappling. So, he's still working German suplexes, and Gresham selling his back. Can't do many things because his back is hurting. They both sold well and ran the match perfectly.
And Gresham started laying in those forearm shots.
And he's going to keep going until, you know, I'm going to forearm all day until the forearming is done.
And each one was getting increasingly harder. He was throwing his everything into him.
You know, Lethal, it's like either this, you are fighting back very hard, or you like getting blasted in the face. Make a choice. Because that's how that looked.
Yeah. Go for the pin. No? All right. Go for the pin. No? All right.
Lethal! Oh, shit! So, Lethal looked on his face like, oh, shit, that's something. But Gresham broke him down and put the Manjigatame on him, the octopus hold, and Lethal couldn't hold him up. They went to the ground, and then Gresham switched it. Yes, he switched to the arm and neck vice version of the Manjigatame, and then started hammer fisting. It like his arm and neck area. Mm-hmm. Just hammer fisting, pap, 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 and Lethal tapped out. Gresham is your new Ring of Honor champion.
And that chick was his wife. She just had too much. Her makeup on her face was too light. That's why her face looked weird.
That's what I was like, that your wife Gresham, because that woman thick.
I don't know who that dude was that jumped in there.
Could be his son. I don't know.
Tall, it looks nothing like him, but yep, that's her.
Man, she's stacked. I ain't gonna lie, he having fun with that at home.
Yeah,
fuck that shit.
She works for Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing but pictures like that. She is stacked from head to toe.
I can't even.
We ain't mad at you, dude.
It's not even close. You know, I can say the younger me would be jealous. I'd be like, the fuck? But shit, anyone can look that if they work at it.
Yeah, and it looked like she worked hard at it. So
damn hard.
She works hard at it.
So she got in the ring, and dude got in the ring. Others started getting in the ring, and I'm like, I couldn't help but for a little bit feel bad for Jay Lethal. You know?
Yeah.
Just, I can't help it. Jay don't deserve this shit. And they should have played some kind of videos of what really happened to clear his name with the foundation.
It might not be over.
Some closure.
It might not be over.
You're right. I don't think it is.
There's plenty of shit on this show that ain't got no closure.
And then closure shit, they started new stuff.
Openings.
What? Okay.
If there's closure, why can't there be openings?
Let me explain. Jay Lethal is a multi-time Ring of Honor world champion, defending that belt all over this nation and against various people that has come in and left Ring of Honor. Jay Lethal, who we saw in TNA wrestling, they wouldn't let him win, and then he finally started to win a little bit, started to look good, but he was just unhappy. He goes to Ring of Honor, and it's like,
and blossoms.
Yep, we get to see who he really is. I'm like, that's who we've been seeing in TNA. TNA ain't worth a shit. And then they Ring of Honor allows an African American to actually hold their championship, their flagship belt. That's something that companies weren't doing back then. They never allow that shit. WWE can do it now because they don't have a flagship belt. It's just, you've got the one for each brand.
Yeah.
You know, in TNA, they just decided to do it because why not? You had no one else that looked like they worth a fuck. So there you go. Got to look like somebody imposing that should be able to win. And they'll find a shit-tacular way to take it from them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But Jay Lethal, with all of those accolades, tag team championship multiple times, television champion multiple times, world champion multiple times. He's done it all in Ring of Honor. He's not carried that company on his back, but he has helped carry that company on the backs of everyone who's come and gone. And after all of these years of absolute, unmitigated, goddamn awesome service and matches and 5-star performances, he go to AEW and jobs to bitches. That is depressing.
Yeah. And disrespectful.
Sammy Guevara is how you pronounce his name. He got to lose to a dude that don't even know how to pronounce his own last fucking name. That's just sad. Jay deserves so much better than that. You know, everyone else that's new and epic come from places and win. Haven't lost yet.
Yeah.
Jay come in and lose the first match, lose the second, and then win on their goddamn match, that the show that don't mean shit. The development show, basically. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. You know? And so, that's why I feel bad. You know, Ring of Honor is not about contracts. It's about just doing right by the people. So when you come back, do right this time. That's all I can say. Do right. Do right payments. Treat people special. You know, let them all know that they are beautiful, awesome talent that could put on some of the best matches and redefine professional wrestling. Because that's what Ring of Honor was supposed to be initially. Initially, it was supposed to redefine to have straight up awesome pro wrestling until the flippy flop assholes came in, catering to the fans' whimsical desires. And that's what happened and derailed that. And then you had to fight to get some actual wrestling back.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans hated that because I'm not getting what I want. I'm not seeing the stupid and it's a joke. No, they want You know, you got your, anyone out there that's in school or got a kid that's in school, what do you do to ruin their day? Have them do work. That's how you ruin their day. There's two things. You can have them do work or question the stupid shit that they do. That's how you ruin their moment. That's how you ruin their day. And that's what happened with the fans back in Ring of Honor's day. They were mentally lazy. The wrestlers were like, yay, it's fun. And we cater to them. It's more butts and seats. See? It's like, no, you got the wrong butts and seats. And then when you took that play away, no, it's not fun anymore. You're not supposed to watch wrestling for fun. You're supposed to be engrossed in a situation, engrossed in a style, engrossed in what that wrestler is going through, what they're trying to be about. Good versus evil. You know, the good guy taking the hero's journey and overcoming, you know, the vials of the opposition, you know, winning that belt from the evil heel or whatnot. Or the heel threat that's going to just destroy any and everything to get to that belt. And when they finally get there, they have that battle. It's brutal. It's epic. The heel cheats his ass off. You are pissed. You are angry. You're worried that the babyface is going to lose that damn title. You don't want that to happen. You don't know how the match is going to end. It could go either way. One thing happens and then boom, the champion retains the belt, vanquishes evil. You feel good about it. You go home feeling good about that program, that event, that match, that wrestler. It's not about going there and playing checkers and card games. There's a lot that is fun about wrestling, but it ain't that shit. That's why it's called shit. When you got people in there like Danielson and Joe, you know, and Adam Cole, you know, when we saw him before he left, and Jay Lethal, you know, and at a small point, Motor City Machine Guns, you know, when you see all these people come in and wrestle their hearts out, show you their moves, their style, show you their personality, and fight the good fight, that's wrestling. Not a billion super kicks or burying every finishing move that you possibly can. Just to say we had a long 20-minute match, because that's what the big events do. They have the long matches. No, they don't. They have rational matches. You know, you can fuck for an hour, but if you ain't done shit, then what was the point? You know, you got to put in work, not play. Just saying. And Ring of Honor can get that back. And they were on their way with that pure division and all this other stuff. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. And having people on your roster like, you know, like Brian Johnson, the Mecca. People like EC3. People like that. You know, Eli Isom. Good grief, it goes on. Josh Woods. Get Jay Lethal back. Jonathan Gresham. You know, form partnerships with other companies. Have them come in with their belts. Say, hey, look, this person is this champion. You know, showcase that. Yeah, the Briscoes are still the game changer tag team champions. But you know something? And I like how they said it. They didn't bring the belts because the belts aren't on the line. But you ain't got to do that. You can just say they are the champions. They come in with belts, but they're not on the line. And help other companies. Game Changer Wrestling needs some help because they're just some outlaw pieces of shit. But I see the beauty. I see that beauty. But they need help. They need a lot of fucking help. They got a beautiful audience. They got a highly respectable audience. They just need some help. You know, Ring of Honor teaches a lot of things. You watch those matches, the code of honor. Shake hands, be decent, do the right thing at all times. Come out on top because you were just the best at that moment. You know, that's the type of thing you want to instill in people. That's something that when the kids watch, they can say, well, yeah, He was only good because, he was the best person at that time. That's why he won. He didn't do it because he cheated. He didn't win because he took the easy route. He worked hard, found a strategy, worked that strategy until, it gave him the win that he needed. Sometimes the best teachers are the ones that's not necessarily teaching, but leading by example. That's one of the best ways to show exactly how to get things done. So hopefully Ring of Honor comes back. They will show how to get things done. I hope they don't give in to the sports entertainment. I hope they don't give in and just be wishy-washy and just say, whatever. No, man, I hope they come back and say, we are still the future. And we're going to prove it to you. That's what I'm hoping. I thought this event was amazing.
It was from beginning to end.
Hiccups here and there. They need to go back and examine this and see like, oh, wow, we made some mistakes. Not many, very, very few. But Willow should have won.
Willow should have won.
Willow should have won.
I've had no problem with any of the titles of changing hands except for that one. Willow should have won. Champion looks like crap.
And make sure, Ring of Honor, and every other company out there, even if you're an E-Fed, don't just stick with your certain few wrestlers on top. Build others up. Because when the others get old,
and they will,
and it's past their time, way past their prime, and they can't hack it like they could or like they should, and you've got no one else to fall back on, that's when you pull in a bunch of young, scrawny, underweight, short people that can do flips and fake kick and do silly, goofy stuff, trying to find that diamond in a sea of shit.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So don't do that. Don't do that. Those diamonds in the rough are right there around you. Chisel them, smooth them, shine them, and let the world see. That's what you need to do. That said, it's been Cedric and Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary, Ring of Honor. Final Battle 2021, end of an era. Want y'all to stay safe. Thank you for your time, patience, and energy. Keep everyone around you safe, including you. Glove up, mask up, wash up, not in that order, but get it done. So with that said, good night. See you next time.